What's going on, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here. It's time to review The Last Ship, Season 3, Episode 1 and 2. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 2-3 minutes to recap the episodes, give the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks again for joining me. And again, it's great. It's great to be back for The Last Ship. It is so awesome. I remember reviewing this on my old channel, Season 1, and then Season 2. My playlist is right down below if you want to check out The Last Ship, Season 2, what I thought about last year. I love this show. Eric Dane, I think TNT is doing a fantastic job with the show. Now we're going to Asia this season. I've been a fan of the show ever since the episode premiered. I remember actually watching it when it premiered, and it opens up and the ice and the helicopters come and there's battles going. It's really, I just remember it so well, and I love this show. I love the characters. I just remember all of it. So it's so fun to have it back for our third season. I love how it just keeps on going. I don't want this show to end. It has to end one day, I'm assuming, but keep it going. The writing's been good so far. The action's been top-notch. So, Last Ship, Season 3, here we go. Spoilers. Gotta get that through. Anyway, so the president's doing a speech in the beginning. This is for Season 3, Episode 1, The Scott Effect. Then we'll get to Episode 2. But Episode 1, the president's doing a speech in the beginning. He's kind of recapping what's been going on. Rachel Scott is dead. So, last thing I remember, she got stabbed at the end of Season 2, but she didn't die. I think she was still alive, breathing. Somebody randomly came up and stabbed her, but the thing is that now she's dead, and it's kind of like, alright. I wanted them to pick it up right where she got stabbed, but it seems like already a few months went over. So anyway, the Nathan James crew are in Asia. Chandler is in America still with the president. People are dying in Vietnam and different areas where they're just dying. They're bleeding from their eyes. The cure has, the virus has basically mutated into something even more deadlier. So they're sending Tom over to basically talk to the president of Korea or one of those countries, China. His name is Pang. So he arrives, and Burke likes this girl. There's Burke's brother, but the younger brother, he likes this girl who's a translator, and he's kind of like, they're looking at each other. She's interested, he's interested, but no one makes their move just yet. Now, Wolf is there, man. I love how Wolf arrives, because Chandler comes into the country, and Wolf arrives, and Valkyrie's there, and everyone just kind of meets up, and it's like the team's back together, alright, because Wolf and Valkyrie were both introduced in Season 2. They weren't Season 1 characters, which is one thing that I'm still worried about this season is Tex. I love that. He's my favorite character. He's the Daryl Dixon of the show. Tex, I hope he comes back. If anyone has any knowledge of him coming back for Season 3, if someone could actually tell me, if the actor's coming back to do Season 3, that'd be amazing. I'd really hope he comes back this season, because I remember he went to go look for his daughter. So please tell me that there's confirmation that he's coming back this season or something like that, because I'd really love that. Either way, that's just kind of like a side note for me, for someone to tell me. But either way, everyone's back. They're in China now, and eyes are everywhere. They're basically spying on them all the time. So the meeting, he's not worried about the tiger. Oh, this was one of the best lines, because they're doing a meeting, they're doing a toast and everything, and Chandler's talking to the president, and his sideman, the president's sideman, is side name Tiger. That's his name if you translate it. I'm not worried about a tiger. I brought a wolf. I was just like, oh my god, that was so perfect. That was the best way to put wolf in that. Either way, Chandler calls out the president, man. He calls out Pang, and about not passing out the cure, not delivering the cure much. He's like, he has the balls. Chandler's basically calling out the president at his own place in his country in a meeting. I was like, Jesus, man. He's like, I have important business to go to. Excuse me, and he just ends up leaving. Yeah, you're on the death list, Chandler. You are on the death list. Anyway, there's a party in Vietnam, and that's where our Nathan James crew is going. So Danny is going home. You find when they're at a rave and everything, and Danny's gonna go home. Basically, Slattery's like, all right, you go home, man. Shipping tomorrow or something. You gotta go be a father. He has to go take care of his baby. Either way, the rave's going on. Boats are hiding in the water near the Nathan James. There's attack in the club. It's a fight. It's hell, basically. You have innocent people dying, and then the crew is basically knocked out by a bunch of I already forgot what they're called, tasers. Everyone's just knocked out by tasers of the crew. So they're taken hostage, and the helicopter that Danny and Bert are the only ones to escape the club. When they go to the helicopter, it explodes. People are knocked out. Chandler gets off the plane, and he's going to Vietnam because he finds out that Nathan James Crew's in trouble. He was going to go back to America. He was leaving Asia to go back to America, but then he goes off the plane, and Valkyrie stays on the plane. The plane goes, and then Valkyrie's like, wait, we need to turn back. I need to do something. And then when it turns back, you see Chandler and them look at the plane. Boom! It explodes just into pieces, which was very predictable. But Valkyrie's dead. They kill off Valkyrie. They killed off Rachel Scott. They're killing a lot of good characters already, man. We're barely 45 minutes into the episode, and they already kill off Valkyrie. So that happens, man. It explodes. So that's it. On to episode 2 for The Last Ship Season 3, which is titled Rising Sun. So first off, there's a chase going on. A bunch of the military of Asia's coming to kill Chandler to kind of get the job finished. So there's a car chase and there's action going on. Hong Kong, they're now in Hong Kong. This guy is bleeding out. That is with Slattery and all them, and they take him basically to go drain his blood. So they're in jail cells basically, and they're like not being tortured per se, but they have like one meal. They're not drinking water, so Slattery and his crew are kind of in a tough place right now. They meet this new girl, Chandler, and then they meet this new girl, and she's going to help Danny and Burke fight these guys one by one, and they kill all of them, which is probably one of the best action scenes out of the premiere. And of course, rations are not working within the American system. The rations have Dr. Scott on them, and they were talking about well, this guy tried to buy a few cereal boxes, and it says he could only buy one cereal box. All the boxes, there's 3,000 cereal boxes, they're gonna go stale. And I'm thinking too, I like the idea of Dr. Scott having rations, being on a stamp. That's cool. But rations, Jesus Christ, that's what we've come to, the American system, in that time, you just can't go back to the dollar bills or something, you know what I mean? Is it, you know what I mean, for an apocalyptic world, Jesus, now we have rations. I mean, you could just start making money again, but, alright, I guess that's the way the president wants to go there. Anyway, so there's a bunch of, complaints towards the president, and there's a fight at this checkpoint, which was really awesome, too, because you have, I forgot her name. It was Chandler's friend, basically, in the show. The new girl that's in the show. She was hiding behind the back of the trunk, and she gets up and she shoots the guy. And Chandler's like, "Get down!" And she didn't get down, and she killed the guy. And she's like, "I said to get down." And I know, she literally just it's awesome. I guess that's the new love interest for the season, because I don't remember her from season 1 or season 2. Maybe because my memory's bad, but I feel like I've seen her, but I really don't remember her, Either way, fight at the checkpoint. Danny interrogates this guy. Burke is losing a lot of blood, and they steal this chopper. Chandler and them steal this chopper in this radiation area. Wolf kind of fights off guys before they end up leaving in the chopper. More fight. They get to the ship at the end, and Slattery and his team are still missing. They're still hostages. Either way, we're going on to the pros and cons. First off, on the pros, what did I love about this premiere? Well, I will tell you, the first episode for the Scott Effect, I gave it a B. For the Rising Sun second episode, I gave it a C+. We'll talk about that. For the pros, just in general, over the premiere, I will say I love the opening of the premiere, of the president doing the speech. And the first 10 minutes of the show, basically, we get to see all the characters we love. And if you've seen The Last Ship as long as me from the premiere, and you love this show, Chandler, we get to see Danny and his girlfriend, now she has a baby. And, you just see all of them, and you're like, oh my god, Miller's back, Diaz, they made Diaz a crew member. It's just so amazing to see all these characters back again, almost where you want them to be ooh, it's good to be back, it's just that, it's a good premiere feeling, and you're ready to go on this 10, 13-week journey with these characters, so I'm very excited to be back, but sadly, they killed Valkyrie. That's no. Anyway, from that, everyone's back, like I said, that's awesome, very good feeling. Honoring Dr. Scott with the rations, I really like that whole, sideline there. Again, killing Dr. Scott, no, very bad choice. Sometimes I don't know whether the actor just wants to get out of the show or whether their contract is up, something like that. Maybe they had scheduling issues and they couldn't come back, but stuff like that. But I'm glad that they honored her with the rations in a sort of way. But Chandler doesn't seem too devastated. Like, you would think Chandler would want to go find the guy who killed Dr. Scott, or you think, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be any part of this season whatsoever. As well, some of the action. I mean, not all the action scenes were great. There are a few times where the directing, like, you couldn't tell what was going on at times, or, like, little moments like that. But I think probably some of my favorite action scenes was when Burke and Danny were taking down those guys in the second episode. They took down, like, 7 guys, and they wanted to keep 2 alive. They only kept 1 guy alive. And then I enjoyed the checkpoint scene the checkpoint scene. I was going to say the helicopter radiation scene, but that scene was alright. But those were the 2 best scenes, I think, and those were both in the second episode. So some of the action didn't work for me, like some of the Fight Club stuff. Fight Club in the club that happened when the attack happened. Some action was cool. I mean, there were some cool scenes, but it wasn't like amazing where it blew my mind or anything like that. But I do love the production of this show and the set pieces and where they're at, where they're going. It's kind of weird how they got to Hong Kong so quick. But I like, we got introduced to a new character. Looks like Wolf is going to have a new love interest, possibly. Or maybe Wolf's going to have... I don't know if it's more of a love interest or a big brother, little sister thing. That may be a little weird, so I guess it'd be more of a love interest now, but I guess he's over Valkyrie. I mean, he's still pissed about Valkyrie, but the thing is I want to see Wolf kind of, like, I know he has to keep his anger, he has to keep his look, but don't you think it'd be nice to actually, like, when Valkyrie exploded, he was like, don't you think he'd be like, Valkyrie, like something like he'd scream or he'd cry or something, or, I mean, I know he's pissed during the episode, but there's not no emotion towards Wolf in a sort of way, like, they're not like, let's take a moment to talk about Valkyrie. Let's sit down and rest and talk about Valkyrie. Let's mourn Valkyrie. There's no mourning. There's no nothing. It's like, oh, Valkyrie died. All right, let's go. Let's run for our lives. You know what I mean? Like, there's no time to mourn. Like, talk about what happened. Like, acknowledge that she passed away. And, I'm just saying. I mean, I may be taking time up like that, but still. So the cons... Valkyrie being dead, I thought that was a very stupid decision, and it was very predictable. You knew, let's turn back. Yeah, Chandler was supposed to be on that plane. They're gonna explode it. It was so predictable. Also, as well, Dr. Scott being dead. That's another big thing. As in, I understand. Well, if she's dead, that's fine. But the thing is that we didn't get to see, like, are you gonna go after the person that killed Dr. Scott? Are you going to continue that storyline? Are you going to do any of that? I'm hoping they're going to do that this season, but if they don't, then I guess whatever, right? As well as some of the action, there are a lot of slow scenes within, like, a lot of the slow scenes, and that's dealing with the president's side of things. Like, I like seeing the president, but those 2 people that are near the president, they look like they're talking bad about the president behind his back. Those little scenes like that, honestly, I don't care. I don't. I understand. It's a storyline, blah, blah, blah. I just want to see my Nathan James. I just want to see my people fight the Cure. Show the president, but I don't care about those 2 people helping the president on the side. Don't show me them. I want to see real stuff. I want to see the action. I want to see them surviving. I want to see Chandler and his family. I want to see that. I want to see more of that stuff. But it seems like the whole season we're just going to be in Asia. And don't get me wrong. It's good to be in different places. Do not get me wrong about that. But the thing is this premiere, this is the thing. It started off good. It started off great. It went down a little. It was kind of slow. It was kind of boring. Then they had their good moment. Then they had their bad moment. Then they had a good moment. Then they had a bad moment. Then they had a great moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it went up and down, up and down, up and down. It had like a pattern. See, like, I enjoyed episode 1. That's why I gave it a B, very much so. And episode 2 was a C+ because it was an okay episode. It was slower. It kind of lost that, like, fizzle at the end. It lost the fizz at the end of the premiere, and I know if I'm talking and they're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I enjoyed the first episode more than the second episode, but yet I enjoyed the action in the second episode. Like, it's some of it was a mess. I don't like some things where they're doing with the characters. Like, I hope they don't drag out Slattery. Like, don't make this season about Slattery being hostage and the crew being hostage and then them coming. Like, get him back the next episode and then continue your journey to spread the cure. You know what I mean? Don't make this the season plot of them going to go get Slattery and them going to go do this and them going to go doing that and then somebody going behind the president's back. And don't be doing all that for the season. Just do it within an episode and get it over with and then move on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? I may just have lost some people there already. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. But I thought it was a good premiere. It wasn't a great premiere, which I was like, oh, I wanted it to be a great premiere. Some stuff didn't get me. Some stuff I was bored of. Some stuff I liked. Some stuff I love. I'm going to give this a B. Overall, just a B. I thought it was a really good premiere. Nothing great, but it's great to have the crew back. It's great to have, well, the whole crew's not back. I mean, Tex ain't there. But it's great to see the Nathan James around, and a lot of changes are coming. But it was great to see Chandler back on the Nathan James at the end, and the whole camera angle, and I mean, it was beautiful. It's good directing, good cinematography in the show. Just some of the action scenes, like within the Fight Club, were just very hard to see. Plus, I love Slattery in the club because the girl kissed him and he was like, ugh. And he was like, 20 minutes. We have 20 minutes now to get out of the club. I knew, again, it was predictable. You knew something was going to happen. It didn't surprise you. Like, oh my God, people are the good. Like, it was predictable what was going to happen during the premiere. I'm sorry. It's just the way that it was. But overall, again, it is a really good premiere. I'm very excited for this season. I'm still in love with The Last Ship. I don't hate The Last Ship. I really do. I'm really excited. I get new characters. Again, Valkyrie dead. I mean, come on. And then Dr. Scott being dead, like fully. Like you're not gonna even show Tom Chandler crying over Dr. Scott or anything. Like you're just gonna move on, and you know what I'm saying. Either way. Comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about The Last Ship Season 3 premiere. I'm sorry I bragged on and on and on and on with my annoying voice. But those were this is my review for The Last Ship Season 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. And also comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about the premiere. Was it right to kill Valkyrie? Do you want to see what happened to Rachel Scott? Do you know where Tex is? I need to know, Tex. Have you seen this man? Show me. Please tell me if Tex is coming back to Season 3. I'd really love to do that. Check out the actor's IMDb or something to see if he's coming back. I'd really enjoy that if you could do that because I have no time. And also, real quick, if anyone has served the Navy, because I do understand people who watched The Last Ship Season 2, I had a lot of Navy people watching my reviews. If you've served or if you're serving currently, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Keep it up. You are just... Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying The Last Ship, and I hope you enjoy this season so much. So, thank you. Until next time, hit that subscribe button for more. Bye-bye.